Assalamu alaikum students, I hope you all are well. Welcome to another lecture of chemical thermodynamics. I am your teacher Sumayya Khan. Students, before starting with today's new topic, let us recall what we have already done in the chapter. We have done quite a good part already. The parts we have done in this chapter are what is meant by thermodynamics, what are the scopes and limitations of thermodynamics, what is the basic concept of thermodynamics that included types of system, types of properties, types of processes. All these things we have done. We have done the type of work that can be obtained in thermodynamics and expression for different types of work. We have seen what is first law of thermodynamics, mathematical equation of first law of thermodynamics, and first law of thermodynamics for different types of processes. We have also discussed some important terms like work, heat, internal energy and enthalpy. And we have also derived an equation for expressing the enthalpy. Okay, these many topics we have covered till now. Now today we are again going to discuss something related to enthalpy. Look, enthalpy is one of the most important functions which we will study in thermodynamics. Okay. Now what is enthalpy? We have discussed enthalpy. Enthalpy is the energy, sum of the energy of internal energy and that energy that arises due to its pressure and volume type of work. Okay. So how do we measure the enthalpy change? We measure the enthalpy change by measuring the change in or variation in temperature of the system under study. Okay. Now we are going to study the enthalpy changes or enthalpies of different types of physical changes that we can observe. Okay. And we are going to associate those enthalpies to those physical changes. Okay. So today's topic is to study the enthalpies of physical transformations. Okay, we are going to study what do we call the enthalpy change that we observe in different physical transformations or phase transitions. You can also use the word phase transition. Now what is phase transition or physical transformation? It means that a system is undergoing a change in physical state from one form to another form. Like if it was a solid system, it is converting to liquid, or if it was a liquid, it is converting to gas, or gas is converting to liquid, whatever it is. Okay, the system is undergoing the phase transition. This phase transition is happening in bulk. It is not in a small area of the system, but the changes are taking place in a bulk. Okay, because we are studying macroscopic system in thermodynamics. Okay, so whenever the physical form of the substance or the system changes, whatever amount of heat absorbed or evolved, it will be called as what? The enthalpy change that is associated with that physical transformation. There are 6 basic physical transformations which we observe in our life. Okay, what are those 6 basic transformations? You can see here. The solid is converting to liquid. This transition is known as what? Melting or fusion. Okay, so when the solid converts or changes into liquid, we say what is happening? Fusion or melting is happening. When the liquid converts into its vapor or gas, we say what is happening? Vaporization is happening. Okay, and when the solid directly converts to gas, we say what is happening? Sublimation is happening. Now these are what? 3 different physical transformation. The enthalpy change that is associated with these physical transformation will be termed as enthalpy of fusion or enthalpy of vaporization and enthalpy of sublimation, whatever change is taking place. Okay, now the reverse processes of these transition are also phase transition. It means it is not necessary that solid always converts to liquid and liquid cannot reconvert back to solid. We know that liquid can also solidify. Okay, we know that ice can melt into liquid and liquid can freeze into solid. Okay, so apart from these three processes, we have three other different transition which are the reverse of the three which we have discussed just now. Okay, so when the solid freezes into when the liquid freezes into the solid, we say what is happening? Freezing is happening. So what is this freezing? Freezing is the reverse of what? Fusion. You can see the arrows here. Okay, the purple arrow from solid to liquid shows you the fusion, and the green arrow on the right from liquid to solid shows you the freezing. In the same way, the vapor, the gases can convert into liquid by condensation. Okay, so what is condensation? It is the reverse phenomena of vaporization you can observe here. Okay, the purple line which is going from liquid to gas is vaporization, representing vaporization, and this green line arrow which is on the right coming from gas to liquid, it represents what? Condensation. Okay, these two are what? The reverse processes of each other. In the same way, when a gas converts into the solid, it is exactly the reverse of sublimation, and it is termed as deposition. These are the 6 basic physical transformation which we are going to discuss. Now, if you understand the 3, you will be able to define the remaining 3 exactly in the opposite manner how you had defined the previous 3. It means if you are able to define what is heat of fusion, and if you are able to understand what is heat of fusion, you can easily understand what is heat of freezing, which is exactly opposite of the fusion. In the same way, if you know what is heat of vaporization, you can easily say what is heat of condensation, because condensation is exactly opposite of vaporization. Okay, now if we know one of the term, we can define its reverse term easily. Okay, now all these phenomena of physical transformations are very basic. We observe these changes in our daily life. We observe how the vaporization happens. We observe the boiling of water, how the water changes to vapor. We observe the freezing. We observe how the water converts into ice, or ice converts into liquid. So these are nothing new or unknown phenomena. Okay, these are what? The daily observation which we do in our day-to-day life, and the energy changes that are associated with these physical transformations are going to what? We are going to define them. So let's see the first one. The first one is enthalpy of fusion. Remember, fusion means melting. Okay, it is denoted by the symbol delta, FUS in the subscript, and H. Okay, enthalpy of fusion. Now how do we define it? It says that it is the enthalpy change that occurs when 1 mole of a solid is converted into liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure. It means what is happening? We know what is fusion, that is conversion of solid into liquid. Okay, you have to define it. What is enthalpy of fusion? So you have to add this word. This is what? Enthalpy change that occurs, or that is associated with conversion of 1 mole of a solid into liquid at constant temperature and pressure. It means you are not increasing the temperature or pressure. The temperature, pressure are constant, and whatever amount of heat is taken for doing the fusion, that amount of heat would be called as enthalpy of fusion. And how much amount of substance is undergoing conversion? Only 1 mole of a substance. Okay, so whenever we define the enthalpy changes for any transformation, remember, we will always define these enthalpy changes for 1 mole of a substance only, not more than that. So it is important to mention that the conversion is taking place in 1 mole of a substance. Okay, now I hope you have understood what is meant by enthalpy of fusion. It is the enthalpy change that accompanies the fusion or melting of 1 mole of solid into liquid at constant temperature and pressure. Okay, so my words may be different from the given definition, but the meaning is same. Apart from this, you can also observe one example is given: H2OS converting to H2OL, that is ice is converting to water. Okay, the enthalpy of fusion for this is given as plus 6.01 kilojoule per mole at 0 degrees Celsius. Temperature is constant. Okay, the temperature of ice is 0 degree. But why ice is converting into the liquid? Because it is absorbing how much energy? It is absorbing 6.01 kilojoule of energy, and it is melting into its liquid form. Okay, now what is the reverse of fusion, that is melting? The reverse of fusion is freezing. So if you have understood properly what is enthalpy of fusion, you can easily define what is enthalpy of freezing. Now let's try to define it. What is enthalpy of freezing? Enthalpy of freezing that occurs when 1 mole of liquid is converted into solid without change in temperature at constant pressure. Okay, so what you have done, you have just changed the word solid and liquid with each other. Now what example you can give? You can give the same example of the equation which you have mentioned here, where ice water is converting to liquid. Okay, you just reverse the equation because you have reversed the process. You reverse the equation. In the bottom you can see the equation that H2O liquid is converting to H2O solid, and the enthalpy of freezing is denoted as delta. In the subscript we have freeze and then capital H. Delta freeze H for this reaction is minus 6.01 kilojoules per mole at 0 degrees Celsius. So you can see here the enthalpy of freezing is exactly the opposite of enthalpy of fusion. And if you take the same example, you can observe that the amount of heat changes that taken place is also same. The positive and negative sign with the values indicate the absorption or evolution of heat. So when the freezing happens, what happens? The heat is given out. That is, evolution of heat take place. When the fusion happens, absorption of heat takes place. Okay, so I hope you have understood it. Now the second type of enthalpy or phase transition we'll discuss here is, actually it is a third type because we have already discussed what is fusion, what is freezing. Now third one is enthalpy of vaporization. Now how do we define vaporization? All of us know the meaning of vaporization. It is conversion of liquid into gaseous form or vapor form. Okay, so when we define it as it is the enthalpy change accompanying the vaporization of 1 mole of liquid without changing its temperature. Look, the words are not important here, but the meaning of this definition should not change. Okay, so instead of using the vaporization, you can also say it is the enthalpy change that accompanies the conversion of 1 mole of liquid into its vapor, or you can also write whatever is written already. Okay, and you will also mention this change is happening at constant temperature and pressure. Okay, so it is the enthalpy change that accompanies the vaporization of 1 mole of liquid without changing its temperature at constant pressure. Again, we have been given the example of water, which is a simple example. Water liquid getting converted to water gas, and the enthalpy of vaporization is denoted as delta VAP in the subscript H. For this reaction, when the vaporization takes place at 100 degrees Celsius, the amount of heat absorbed is 40 kilojoules per mole. Okay, and when it takes place at 25 degrees Celsius, the amount of heat absorbed is 44 kilojoule per mole. we know that the water will not only convert to its vapor at 100 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees is the boiling point of water. Okay, it does not mean that water will evaporate only when the temperature of the water will reach 100 degree. Remember, the sea, lakes and different sources of water which we observe, it all show what? The process of evaporation. What is evaporation? Evaporation is conversion of liquid into its vapor. And the sea water is not boiled to 100 degrees Celsius. We know that, okay? So it is not necessary that vaporization will occur at boiling point only. It can occur at some lower temperature also, okay? So how do we define vaporization? Again, remember, you will define it for only 1 mole of a substance. Okay, so 1 mole of liquid vaporizes into its vapor at constant temperature and pressure. We'll say what is happening. What is the enthalpy of that change? It will be called as enthalpy of vaporization. Understood? Now these enthalpy changes which we are defining for only 1 mole of a substance can also be termed as molar enthalpies. You can also define term this enthalpy of vaporization as molar enthalpy of vaporization, or molar enthalpy of fusion, or molar enthalpy of freezing, okay, because it is defined for only 1 mole of a substance. Now students, what is the reverse of vaporization? That is, vaporization is conversion of liquid to gas. And what is the reverse of it? That is conversion of gas to liquid. Okay, when gas converts to liquid, what is that process called? It is called as condensation. Okay, so what is enthalpy of condensation? Enthalpy of condensation is exactly the opposite of vaporization. I hope you can define it. Okay, condensation is the opposite of vaporization, and its definition you can write easily with the help of the definition of vaporization. It is the enthalpy change that accompanies the conversion of 1 mole of gas into liquid at constant temperature and pressure. With that, you can also give the example of your equation, the same equation you have seen in the vaporization. Just reverse the equation and reverse the sign of enthalpy which was there. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is condensation. Now let's move forward. Enthalpy of sublimation. What is enthalpy of sublimation? It is the enthalpy change that accompanies the conversion of 1 mole of solid directly into vapor at constant temperature and pressure. Okay, so we can easily define what, because we understand the meaning of sublimation, we can easily define what is meant by enthalpy of sublimation. So just you have to keep in mind that the conversion is from solid to gas, and this conversion is happening for only 1 mole of a substance. Now again, you can see we have been given the example of water which is undergoing conversion and forming gas. The enthalpy of sublimation is denoted as delta sub H, and for the given reaction it is plus 51.08 kilojoule. That is, when 51.08 kilojoules of heat is absorbed by the solid ice, it gets converted into its vapor. Okay, now below that you can see in the example, you can see that the two equations of conversion of ice into liquid and that liquid into vapor is given. You can observe the enthalpy changes for both the conversions. For fusion it is 6.01 and for vaporization it is 45.07. When you add these two values, the total will be 51.08. So whether the solid is directly converting into its vapor, or it is first converting to liquid and then into vapor, the total enthalpy change for this conversion remains same. It is 51.08 kilojoule, which is what a very good example for expressing that why enthalpy is a state function. because enthalpy depends only on the current state and does not depend on the path which is followed to reach that state. Okay, so this is a very good example of expressing that enthalpies are what? State function. They do not depend on the path function, that is, they do not depend on the path how the change has occurred. Okay, so we can say that enthalpy of sublimation is equal to the sum of the enthalpy of fusion and vaporization. I hope you have understood it. Now you can also define what is deposition. Deposition is what? The conversion of gas directly into solid. Again, students, you can give the same example of conversion of water vapor into the ice, but just reverse the reaction, and the enthalpy change delta, that is delta deposition H, would be minus 51.08 kilojoule. That is exactly reverse of sublimation. Now remember, fusion, vaporization and sublimation are heat absorbing or endothermic processes, because their delta H is positive, that's why they are endothermic, that is heat absorbing. And freezing, condensation and deposition are what? Heat releasing or exothermic processes. They are exactly reverse of each other. So these are the three physical transitions which we observe, and this is how we define the enthalpies of these physical transformations. Now this is the example here, where example of sublimation, where the solid iodine is undergoing sublimation and forming the vapor of iodine gas into this flask. Okay, you can observe the vapor inside the flask. The vapor is of solid iodine which undergoes sublimation. Okay, now again here you can see this is nothing but the same kind of this thing conversion diagram which I have shown you earlier. Okay, it shows how this thing sublimation is equal to the sum of fusion and vaporization. Now the next one is enthalpy for the atomic or molecular change, that is whatever changes are taking place in the molecular atomic basis, the energy changes that are associated in that also we can define. The first one which we will discuss here is enthalpy of ionization. All of us know the meaning of ionization or ions. We know that ions are of two types, positive ions or negative ions, that is cations and anions. Okay, and how do we obtain these cations and anions? Cations are formed due to the loss of electron and the anions are formed due to the gain of electron. Okay, so what is enthalpy of ionization? How do we define it? It is the enthalpy change accompanying the removal of an electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. So remember students one thing here very clearly, that whenever we define enthalpy of ionization, we will always what? Keep in mind that the ion which we are talking about is only a positive ion. Okay, that is cations. So this enthalpy of ionization is actually talking about the formation of cation, that is positive ions. Okay, so it is what? The enthalpy change that is associated with the removal of an electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. So your substance is 1 mole but is in the gaseous form. Remember, you have to keep in mind that the conversion is taking place in the gaseous state only. Okay, and how it is forming? By removal of 1 mole of electron. It means you are forming a unipositive ion. Okay, you are not removing 2, 3 or 4 electrons, you are just removing 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of an atom, so that it will result in the formation of unipositive ion, that is ion containing 1 positive charge on it. Okay, an example of sodium is given, where sodium atom in the atomic form in gaseous state is converting into sodium ion Na plus ion in the gaseous state by losing an electron. Okay, and the enthalpy of ionization delta ion H is 494 kilojoules per mole. So the positive sign, no sign means positive sign, indicates the process of ionization or formation of cation is what? A heat releasing process. Okay, and it is an endothermic process, sorry, heat releasing, not heat releasing, heat absorbing, it is an endothermic process. Okay, so here I hope you have understood what is enthalpy of ionization. Let's see next one. Here next one is the electron gain enthalpy. It is exactly opposite of enthalpy of ionization. In ionization, enthalpy of ionization, we have seen the formation of cation. In electron gain enthalpy, we will see the second type of ion, that is formation of anion, which is caused due to acceptance or gain of electron. So how do we define it? The electron gain enthalpy, on the other hand, gives the enthalpy change when 1 mole of gas phase atoms of an element accepts electron to form gaseous anion. Okay, so if you have understood the form enthalpy of ionization, you can easily define what is electron gain enthalpy. It is the enthalpy change accompanying when 1 mole of gas phase atom of an element accepts an electron, 1 mole of electron, to form gaseous anion. Again, the amount of substance which is undergoing change is 1 mole, and accepting of electron, how much electron? Only 1 mole of electron. So example of chlorine gas is given. Okay, so chlorine, by accepting an electron, forms chlorine anion, and the enthalpy change for it is minus 349 kilojoules per mole. That is, it is an exothermic or heat releasing process. Okay, now see the next one. Let's see. The next one is enthalpy of atomization, denoted as delta atom H. The enthalpy change accompanying the dissociation of 1 mole of gaseous substance into atoms is the enthalpy of atomization. Okay, it's very simple. Any gaseous, how much any 1 mole of any gaseous molecules, when breaks down into its constituent atoms, the amount of energy that is absorbed will be what? Enthalpy of that atomization of that process. Okay, so suppose here you have been given the example of chlorine gas, Cl2 gas. Okay, a diatomic gas. So chlorine molecule exists as a diatomic molecule. When it undergoes atomization, it breaks down into 2 chlorine atoms, and the amount of heat absorbed is 242 kilojoules per mole. In the same manner, the example of methane is also given. 1 mole of methane gas is undergoing atomization, that is breaking into its constituent atoms in the gaseous form. Look, everything is in the gaseous form. Okay, and forming carbon and hydrogen. Okay, the amount of heat absorbed is around 1660 kilojoules per mole. So atomization, you keep in mind, is breaking of a gaseous molecule into its constituent atoms. Okay, is known as atomization, and whatever amount of energy energy change is taking place for that atomization will be termed as enthalpy of atomization. Okay. Okay, then students, thank you students for listening to me so patiently. This is it for today. We'll finish over here only. Inshallah, we'll meet in the next lecture. Until then, please be safe. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.